What is up, guys? It's Fuse, and the Battlefield 4 beta has been out for about a week and a few days if you're playing on consoles or if you're a premium member. Now, when it comes to Battlefield 4 on consoles specifically, it kind of came as a downer when you hear about the next-gen consoles, the Xbox One and the PlayStation 4, coming about a month after the actual Battlefield 4 release. So that means people that are playing on console are going to be playing on the PlayStation 3 or the Xbox 360 for at least a month until the next gen comes out, and then they can decide whether or not to upgrade. So in this video I'm going to be talking about, is it even worth getting on current gen consoles, and what's the long-term effect if you do. So the current gen consoles in Battlefield 4 beta is out on it right now, so you can experience it for free if you want to see if it's even worth it. Now, Battlefield 4 on the PlayStation 3 and the Xbox 360 is locked to about 24 players, which is kind of really disappointing when you can compare like the maps that actually are going to be on the PC. Well, the size of the maps themselves, where if you play Conquest on PC, you have much more flags, and you have a server limit of about 64 players. Now, the Xbox One and the PlayStation 4 are both going to be kind of supporting the same thing, where the PC and the next-gen consoles are going to practically be on the same playing field when it comes to the amount of players, size of maps, and the items that you might be getting in the long run that won't be supported on the current-gen consoles. Since that in the beta, even though it's not the most recent build, I'm already seeing a lot of problems with it, where as if you just spawn and your weapons don't really show up immediately, it actually can take quite a long time, and if you're like changed from one class to another, the same thing happens. Though on the PS3, which is what I'm playing on, it actually looks pretty good for how old the console is, but that also still comes down to how small the maps are, the amount of entities that are on the map, which are like the objects and the floating particles, and the amount of players affect the way the game's going to play out. Though you can physically see the actual like the frame drops from time to time, say as on the map Shanghai, which is the only map right now in the beta. When you're playing Conquest and the tower falls, it really does impact the actual frame rate, and it kind of is embarrassing to see it's 30 frames per second but can barely handle that. Now on the next gen consoles, you're going to be getting 60 frames per second, though it's still, people are saying it's going to be 1080p or 720p. They don't really know as of right now, because it can still be optimized to be 1080p, but then you can start seeing frame rate limitations. So whatever can guarantee the smoothest frame rate is not that bad. So 720p is not really that disappointing if you're trying to get as many frames per second and have the highest quality as possible, in which the DICE developers are trying to do. Now, the PlayStation 3 and the Xbox 360 for sure are probably going to be getting the same content that you get from Battlefield 4 Premium, like the subscription service that you had in Battlefield 3, though you're not going to be experiencing it to its full extent. So the developers are actually going to be having to develop two different versions, a scaled out version for the current gen consoles and a actual full-fledged version you're going to be seeing on the PS4, the Xbox 360, Xbox One, my bad, and the PC. Now, one thing about buying the game on current gen is that if you actually do plan on upgrading to the next gen consoles through Origin, and I believe from other retailers that are selling Battlefield 4, that you can actually just upgrade for about $10. Now, Battlefield is not the only game doing this. There are other games that have been considering it. Other developers and publishers have been considering the way for you to buy on current gen consoles and carrying it over to the future. Now, that's pretty much it for this video, guys, but to wrap things up, I am still on the edge about whether or not to actually buy it. Though if you are already getting a next gen console, I just recommend not getting it. But if you already own a current gen console and you want to play Battlefield immediately and get ranked up as high as possible, and then get the next gen console, you might as well get it and then pay the $10 to get the next gen version, so you can actually have two different versions of the game. Though sadly, you're not going to be playing with the same people that you'd be playing on the PlayStation 4, so it's something you're going to have to decide. Maybe your friends are still going to be playing on the current gen console, and you want to try to stick around with them until they get the next gen console, or maybe you just want to be the first one to jump on the ship. So that is it for this video, guys. If you enjoyed or hated this video, leave a rating down below. Shares are always appreciated, and like always, have a good day.